Okay. How y'all doing tonight? I think what I'm going to be talking about in this video is I'll try to make it fairly. Oops, my bad. Just about lost my foot in there. But I didn't. Still here. A nice warm night out too. Anyway, before that, what I was meaning to say is, the title of this video will be about reparations. We'll be discussing about reparations, and what I think about it, and all in all, what should be done, Well, it's something you've heard a lot and is being perpetuated in our culture, especially Western culture. Excuse me. Is about black people here are being constantly kind of being conditioned, rather, as what was it, Skinner has in a lot of ways had a point there when he talked about conditioning, and black people, unfortunately, especially in these urban areas, have been conditioned by the white liberal to think and act a certain way, and they're being told right now a lot that they're being owed. America owes you, and in this case, it's reparations. Reparations for slavery, reparations for injustices of the past, especially the Jim Crow era too, and the police brutality during the 40s and 50s, and a lot of unfortunate other incidents. But to go to we'll focus on the slavery one for now. Now, I'm not a black person, but I feel I'll direct you to other people that know more about this than I do, such as David Carroll, actually, from New York, who has a constant running commentary about this, and he is black, by the way, so he can say certain things. But I feel that in regards to slavery, I should be able to say something about this with my heritage and my political view, and I will. Well, here's the thing. Anybody who's done a thorough research of Western history, especially history of the Americas, Canada, down to the West Indies and that kind of thing, England, Ireland, will know that the Irish actually were the original slaves here in America. And they were captured by the British and sold over here, and I think in various other parts of England and well as the West Indies, they were sold and traded as slaves. The Irish, or as now they're known as white people, So they were the original slaves of Western culture. Now, granted, later on, I will say that they were replaced by black people. So the market was better for black slaves than it was for white slaves or Irish slaves. So but you never hear about the Irish asking for reparations for this, because this is not mentioned now. And yeah, it's just not mentioned now, and it's not even popular to discuss this now, that there were any other slaves besides black slaves. The American Indians also were slaves too, but they also owned black slaves as well. And this is not common knowledge. The 5 civilized tribes, Cherokee, Chickasaw, Creek, Seminole, and there's one more. Was it Creek? I think so, but it was the 5 civilized tribes. In fact, that one actor traced his lineage back to this tribe, one of these tribes, and found to his dismay that not only were they involved in the slave trade, this tribe, but after the Civil War, they were reluctant to release their slaves. So, again, this kind of this narrative that we're hearing going around, and especially the left likes to perpetrate, that blacks and American Indians were both being oppressed. These oppressed minority groups, and they were victims of relentless white racism and horrible oppressive patriarchal systems, and this cultural Marxist narrative that has beaten them both down. But they want to try to now join them, as blacks and American Indians were both in the same boat, and they were not. So that's another big lie. Dinesh D'Souza does a very good job in his books and videos of dispelling this myth. And it's a myth. It is a total myth. And yeah. It's sad where it's taken people, It really is. But that was what I was going to talk about when it came to reparations. And I could go on and on about this. I've done some blogging on this topic too. And, well, it's a sad state of affairs, But there's going to be another video I'm going to do on the American Indians and how their land was not stolen, and how ridiculous that whole argument is as well, and how it just buys into this constant lie and fabrications and distortions that the left is constantly doing, and how they've ruined communities, taken them down with their lies, and they're still doing it. And the argument for reparations is just apprehensive. I mean, it's just, what would I say? Ludicrous. It's just ludicrous. It's a ludicrous argument. It should be shot down by anybody who's done any research. And you could make that argument for many, many groups throughout history. Oh, and by the way, I thought I'd throw this in there. Since they only want to punish white people, since they want to, if we were to again be fair and balanced in this viewpoint, why wouldn't we go after the Arabs, who were the ones responsible for selling the black people into slavery to this country or to Western culture? But again, that's not mentioned now because it doesn't fit the narrative. So again, and I'll just close with this, it's inconsistent on so many levels that whole premise of that argument is inconsistent on so many levels, it's not even worth bringing up. And with that, I close. And what can I say? Take care. Later.